want somebody to be taller than you. But if you're 5 feet tall and a guy is 5'5", he's 5 inches taller than you. That is a big difference, and plus, if a tall person has a baby with you, it's more likely that the baby is gonna end up being shorter because of you. So then you're not even gonna create a 6-foot tall man. So why is this so important? But nonetheless, I'm not trying to judge anybody. If anybody feels like I'm judging them, I'm not. This is your own delusion, so we have to go based on your own delusion. There's only one man for one woman. It's normally like 50-50. So if it is 50-50, like in terms of 50% male, 50% woman, I'm all over the place. 50% man, 50% woman, then it's only one for one. So let's go. Let's find out what a minimum income of $120,000. How ideal is that, man? Only 1.6% of men. So let's say 30% of women believes in that. 30% of women will be going after 1% of man. And it's pretty funny. It says cat enthusiast. So obviously, you're probably gonna be single if that is your delusion. Now let's go based off my male reality. So honestly, I'm 26. What am I talking about? I'm 24, and I would probably only go up to 26. Okay, so anybody who's married is not gonna be on my list, and there's not gonna be any mothers. I'm not marrying a single mother. Just being honest, it's either gonna be white or Hispanic. I'm not gonna date a black woman or an Asian woman. That's just not my preference. It doesn't really matter. I feel like nowadays you kind of have no choice. I would prefer somebody who's like 5'4", but it's not the end all be all. I'll exclude overweight because I weigh 145 pounds. I'm not going to date anybody who's weighs more than me. If you weigh like 150, okay, 155, okay. If you're like 180, 200, no, that doesn't work out. I'm sorry. And I don't care what amount of money they make. I really only care about their morals. So let's find out how often or how, probable is my match. 14%. Okay. Listen, if I have to say, let me go back to the female reality and let me try to get myself. Let's go back. Alright, let's just say somebody like me, let's say 24 to 26, or 22 to 26. I'm 24. Jesus Christ. Oh, whatever, let's just leave it there. Damn, they don't have why don't they have Hispanic in here? Oh, okay, so I can't. I'm 5'9". I'm not obese. And last year I made $88,000. So let's just say 80,000. This kind of messes it up since I can't put Hispanic since I am Puerto Rican. Well, let's go. Let's get it closer then. Let's do 24. Jesus, it just doesn't want to. Oh, okay, never mind. All right, find out. So the probability of even finding me, based on last year, is 3%. This is insane. So even though I said no obese, no whatever, I had my opinions. I'm still not that bad, right? 14, but there's clearly a market for me. And if you gotta think about it, like if we were to downsize this to say, where do you live? Okay, you live in Boston, Massachusetts. The population of Boston is 650,000. Realistically, of people are in between 20 and 34. Okay, so come on, let me get a number. 642,000. Okay, let's keep looking. This is getting confusing. Well, hey, let's say I'm in Boston and I'm looking for somebody who's Hispanic. What are the amount of people that are Hispanic? How much? This is just confusing right now. Give me a second. So around about what? 5%? 6%? Because they'll include black or African American, I guess, as mixed races, or black, Hispanic. So if I was looking for somebody who's Hispanic, I got a 6% chance in Boston. You know, it could get real ugly if you actually size it down. So 35%, I'm just gonna say 650. What's 1/3 of? Let's just say about 200,000. So 200,000 is your amount of young adults, and my list is definitely between 18 and 26. So that will probably lower that in half. So maybe we're like at maybe 80 to 90,000 in my range, right? Or maybe like 70,000. Maybe it's even lower than what I'm saying. So if I have about 70,000 people to choose from, then I gotta be like, okay, now who's obese? Now, how much of America is obese? Of America is obese. 39%. So now I gotta say, let's say 40% of my 70,000 is now, I don't know, I'm not good at math. Let's just say 45,000. Right? 50,000. Let's say 50,000. No, 45. Now I'm level 45,000. And then I have to be like, okay, realistically, how much of them are not good looking enough for my taste, right? Or then I'll probably go, how much of them are Christian? And then, you put all these filters on who you want to date, and eventually you're left with nobody. You understand? Nobody. So the actual delusion is crazy. We're not gonna get who we want, and we need to stop thinking that we're going to get who we want. We have to get who we need, right? The person who's right for us, and stop judging them based on how tall they are, or how fat they are, how much money they make. Do they have the same morals as you? Do they have the same goals and aspirations as you? Do they want to start a family? Do they not want to start a family? You guys have to be on the same page. Dating needs to be about finding somebody on the same wavelength as you, so that you're not, by the time you get married and make this decision that, this is what we're going to do, that you're not all over the place, and that it's going to actually be successful because you already discussed what you guys are going to do. And that's not being discussed. People are just getting into relationships, having sex, and then just kind of winging it. And by winging it, this is where all the arguments come in, because they expect somebody to be some way, but like, we didn't agree to this. I didn't agree to this. You want me to be something that I'm not, so I can't. But now we've already had sex. So because we've already had sex, it's like, are you gonna leave me now, or I'm gonna go somewhere else? Like, we already did the nasty. So at this point, we're in it. Like, we can't just exit this, right? And it's stupidity, because you should have vetted that person, right? What do you want in life? Okay, that's what you want. And if you say to somebody, yeah, I'm not having sex for the next 4 or 5 months. Listen, I'm a Christian. I don't believe in sex until marriage. But if we're gonna think of this in a non-Christian way, if I'm just gonna think of it in a non-Christian way, let's do that. I'm not having sex with you for the next 4 or 5 months. I need to know who you are before I allow you anywhere near my body, right? If that has to be the idea, because you need to vet who this person is to see if they're only in it for lustful intentions or if they're actually trying to build a family, right? And then you gotta know if they want a family, or if you gotta know what they want. Do they want to live in Boston forever? Do they want to live in New York City? Do they want to go down to Florida? Do they want to move to Texas or California? You know, you guys gotta be on the same wavelength so that no surprises come up. And when you realize, okay, I'm not even putting in the morals aspect. If I put morals into this conversation, then like we're going to be lost because we're not gonna know, you know, there's gonna be nobody left on this delusion calculator that we're looking at, right? And another thing I wanted to go based off is I wanted to look at what they call whole math. And this varies different from guys. See, a 10 out of 10 guy, right? A Chad, right? Beautiful Henry Cavill-like guy. He'll date the 10 out of 10 female. He'll date the 9 out of 10 female. He'll date the 8 out of 10. He'll date the 7 out of 10. He'll probably even go as low as the 6 out of 10 female. The 9 probably go as low as the same. But the further you go down, the further the man goes down as well. But the 10 out of 10 woman is only going to go, right? The 10 out of 10 male is only going to go for the female, right? So let's keep looking. There's another cut right here. This is the right one. So the 10 out of 10 female is only realistically looking for a 10 out of 10 male. You know, a 9 out of 10, she'll go up to 10 and she'll go to 9, but she ain't really going to 8, right? An 8 will go to the 9, will go to the 10, will go to the 8, but won't go down to 7. And that is just the case, is that women are not trying to go with anybody that they deem is unworthy. An ugly man, it seems to be unworthy. And I'm not saying it's all women, right? But a good percentage of young women today are feeling this way. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm actually a good looking man. I'm not really ugly. I'm kind of skinny. I need to work on that, but I do work out. I can lift you up. If you're a 130-pound woman, yeah, we probably weigh the same, but I can pick you up. I can bench 150 pounds. So I have some strength to me. I'm not completely weak, and I'm getting stronger. I keep going to the gym, but I'm a decently looking guy. Like, I'd say I'm like an 8 out of 10. And I think that as I get older, when I get a beard, when I get bigger, I'm going to be a 9 out of 10 because I have a good looking face, in my opinion. Do I have a face that everybody's gonna like? Probably not. But I have a face that enough people will like that I can say, yo, I am a good looking person. And I know because I've never dated ugly women. Not no offense to anybody who's ugly. I have no problem with somebody. You know, you're still beautiful in the eyes of God. And you still are a beautiful creation in the eyes of me as well. Because all humans are created in the image of God, which is the most beautiful thing. But we're going off of human attraction. So attraction works in different ways. You know, there's some people that they find people attractive that other people be like, no, I don't see it. I don't see what you see. Let me take a sip of water. Give me a second. Okay. Man, this is horrible for your throat. Just like whispering is so bad, man. Okay. And you know, I just want people to realize, like, don't go off your reality, right? Don't go off of so much of your ideas. Go off of your morals. And if you date somebody based on their morals, chances are you're going to enjoy them and like them more because of the moral aspect. Because they fulfill you spiritually. Or if you're not a Christian, they're on the same wavelength as you. You're not far off. So, in conclusion to all this, you know, this is me going based off dating and talking. You know, I talked about the state of marriage in America, the state of dating, and what we could do to get better. And my whole idea is not my own; it's Christ's idea that Christ needs to be at the center. Okay, but we also need to stop being so judgmental. Stop being so, oh, this person doesn't have this person doesn't have that, this person have this. Like, are you going to base a marriage solely off of a person not being 6 feet tall? And if they're 5'9", like say I'm 5'9", I'm not tall enough. You're 5 foot tall. Why am I not tall enough for you? I'm 9 inches it's been like this thing, they call it 6 feet, 6 inches, six figure. So they want you to have a penis size of 6 inches. They want you to have a 6 figure net worth. And they want you to be 6 feet tall. A lot of women are subscribing to this. I'm like, bruh, the penis size in I think America is like 5 inches, maybe a little bit bigger than that. So if I'm an average guy, I'm not gonna tell you guys what the size of it. I'm not going there. But I'm saying hypothetically, if I am the size of the average American, why am I unacceptable because of not having a bigger trait, right? Like, we can't get so over sexualized. Like, it doesn't, like, a man, if you are truly in love with him based on who he is, you're going to accept even the parts that, I think the reality is that women are having sex too much, and they're finding different kinds of men with different kinds of traits, and then they go back to another man and he doesn't really have it, and now it's like, I'm not getting the same sexual experience. But if you start off with that man and you continue your relationship, you guys can cultivate in your marriage. You can cultivate and develop a sexual pattern that could be healthy for the both of you, where the both of you are satisfied, right, in marriage. But when we start going around and start having sex with a bunch of people, there's gonna be women that are gonna be able to do things that other women can't. They're gonna be women that have certain traits that other women don't. And when we start getting so over sexualized and so over, how do I say this? Like, just so greedy, we're not going to be satisfied. So I think that we need to start looking at, if we've had sex recently, to stop, to not have sex anymore, and to put God first, and to go a year without having sex and start dating. Start looking at who's out there, who is a good, person spiritually that you could, move forward with in your life. And if we don't, I think we're gonna see that we're gonna stop having babies, and this country is gonna end up a lot like Japan. We need to shape up and stop being so greedy, stop being so just annoying. Let's respect people. Let's love, like, let's truly love, and let's see people as brothers and sisters in Christ. Let's see people like they matter, and that you're not gonna judge them based off of a trait, that you care more about their spirituality. And I'm not saying you can't be attracted. Obviously, you're gonna go with people who you're attracted to. You have to, but don't let that be the end all be all, right? Like, let's just say Channing Tatum is more attractive than a man who is way more spiritual. He goes to church. He's a pastor, and he makes decent money because he does a little side business on the side. He does. He's not Channing Tatum. He don't got millions of dollars, and he's not as attractive as Channing Tatum, but he can fulfill you spiritually, and he's gonna treat you right. Versus Channing Tatum, he has options to go with whoever he wants, to do whatever he wants, and he can get rid of you and replace you the next day. He can replace you within a phone call. Honestly, who are you going to choose? You're gonna choose the person who fulfills you, who's all in for you, who will put all of their effort into you, or do you want Channing Tatum? We have to start looking at this realistically. Who loves us? Who's giving us true love? Christ's love. Who is approaching this relationship with Christ, bringing Christ to the table for me? If this person isn't bringing Christ to the table for me, they're not worth it, and we need to start looking elsewhere, right? And that's where I conclude. This is part 2 to dating. My dating sort of ramble talk, and you could probably hear I don't know if you guys can hear my dog. She's over there licking. What are you doing? No. Okay, she's just having fun. So this is part 2. I think part this at night, if you're listening during this day, hope this was relaxing. Hope this was interesting and fun. I hope to see everybody back. Please subscribe. I need more subscribers. I want to keep doing this, but I'm getting views. Like, people are actually watching, but I want to make sure that I'm not doing this for no reason, because I want to invest money in this. I want to get a better mic. I want to get, maybe more equipment. Maybe I'll do a face reveal. Maybe I'll start doing things. Maybe I'll even do giveaways, whatever. But I gotta get an audience. So if you like this kind of content, please subscribe.